Welcome to Boba Joe Mania. Let's get ready to crumble. Oh, we've got one of those Boba belts.
Got the Boba Joe Championship here.
Did you win it or you stole it? You stole it and took off to another territory.
Now it's been vacated. We're going to need a tournament to declare a new champion.
Yes. I vote for your little ginger cat so can be in there.
Yeah. You hear that, buddy? He's snoozing. He could wake up at any moment, though.
And what are we talking about this week? My Little Pony, or what are we doing?
We are doing a very popular Mattel toy line that's not Barbie. It's Boy Barbie. It's wrestling. What currency of money is
this week? But well, I guess we can talk about wrestling figures.
Just for a change, we're going to talk about something wrestling related on the show this week.
Just for a change. I didn't realize until in the show. This is actually a third one of like wrestling figures.
Yeah, I was actually so worried about kind of double dipping or picking the same wrestlers again that I went.
There's so
I
many
went for the safe
decos.
option though. I pretty much went for anybody recently purchased, like in the last 6 months or so,
that's kind of what I was thinking.
Just to avoid any duplicates showing up on our list today. I'm loving this picture here. I'm loving seeing Ted with his. What currency has Ted got there? What type?
I don't know. I think they're like Singapore or Hong Kong dollars. It's got like an Oriental lady on the thing. I got it on eBay for about $10. They're actual miniature paper cash things with a little bundle around them. And on the eBay picture, it had like a greenback looking American one. It's like, great, get that. Turns out weird currency. It still works, but I'm slightly annoyed. And also got that $1 million belt from a different seller just as a loose accessory. So both of them this week just went to go on him. And I had to heat the hands up in the hot water to get him to hold them because they kept just falling out of his hand.
Well, it definitely it improves the figure no end. Love seeing them all.
I got to get a briefcase for him. I think I have one from that like Destro Joe classified somewhere. So if I can find that, I think the Cobra thing's on one side. So if you flip it over, it can be a briefcase. And I've got more of that money. So I've got more piles of it sitting in bags over here because I've got about 6 or 7 of them. So I can put some more in a little briefcase will be good.
Probably I'll apologize actually in advance for the viewers today because even though we'll be showcasing some shots of my wrestling figures, none of those shots happen in a wrestling ring because one of my cats kind of ate the ropes off my wrestling ring, so I don't have one to use for photos at the moment. So the tabletop had to do for this week's photos, I'm afraid.
Yeah, you'll see some background things in these photos like my work shirt and other things in this room because I had no room to put it, and it certainly couldn't take them outside or nothing because it's heavy rains all this week.
Yeah, Razor Man here. Yeah, he was one of my picks. Literally got him last week.
Yeah, I almost got the blue one. It was like this, but it had kind of the blue tropical look a couple months back at Target, but it was gone when I went back.
I know our good buddy Grindhead Jim, I think recently got one maybe a week or two before. So I was keeping an eye out. Smith said they would have it in stock, and I just kept a lookout. And sure enough, my local one got free in stock. So I ran down there on my lunch break last week and picked them up. And yeah,
I like a lunch break pickup. It's almost a bit naughty if you're doing work and you're like, oh, no one knows what I'm doing. I'm buying some cool stuff. Fuck eating lunch.
And now I've got something to look forward to for when I get home. I'm going to open this up and have a wee play with it.
It's like, if I have to get something after work and it's busy and it's traffic, it's like, I can't be fucked. I'll be back this way next week. But if it's during the day, I'm like, great, I can go straight home.
This is like my second Razor figure and my fourth Scott Hall figure overall.
I remember you got the NWO one.
Fifth one actually. This is definitely the best though so far of what I've picked up. This is a head and shoulders above it. Comes with 3 interchangeable heads. It comes with that gorgeous Intercontinental Championship belt. He's got the removable waistcoat. He's also got like 3 pairs of interchangeable hands with actual decent difference. Like he's got the thumbs up, he's got the open palms, he's got the fists. It's just a really nice set with lots of accessories. And I'm not really like I would usually buy either the normal elites or the basics. He's only the second Ultimate Edition figure that I've gotten, and
Yeah,
he's one of my faves. I have to say, really
I
enjoying it.
wish they did more of. I mean, the extra heads are great, but I'm usually fine with one. But the extra accessories, not just the hands, but like a belt or the clothing piece. I wish more of that came with more of some of the budget price ones, because that's what it's the same figure across three different price lines half the time. It's just more accessories, but you want the clothing and the belt and stuff are much more interesting accessories.
The odd time it
Like
does
that
happen
T
where
comes with the right. I was looking at the gold chain, but it is different than his one because it's quite thick.
yes,
You had a quick
yeah,
look to see
T's
if they
got
actually did it. They didn't reuse it. Quite different chain.
he's got all the gold. Uh, yeah, he almost puts Razor's gold to shame. But yeah,
No,
no,
it's good. They
beautiful
did.
figure.
It's
I
its
even
own piece sculpt.
even the detail on the where you can see the little razor blades on the knee pads and stuff, like they actually
Yeah, it's nice.
went and did a good job. Have him posing here with his buddy, the 123 kid,
Yeah,
a
I
figure
looked
which
at the head
I'm
sculpt too in your photos. The 123 kid, you can see they've done a decent. Like he looks younger. He looks really spot on.
yeah, they didn't just go and take the X-PAC
Mm,
mold and take the beard off, which is what you'd
yeah,
expect them to do. And the new 123 kid that they've coming out later this year looks really nice. I hope to be upgrading to him at some point. But yeah, the kid and Razor here, he did make the kid famous, and then of
yeah,
course later on they'd become good friends, both on screen and off. So I thought I'd get a nice little shot of the two guys together. That kid figure is pretty old now. I think I got him back in maybe 2016,
yeah.
2017.
Still very
He's
nice. I mean,
still
the
a
figures they
decent
do
figure
now are
though.
not much different. Usually, just the heads are a little bit different, and that's about it. And sometimes the elbows are less janky, but then sometimes they're better on the older ones.
Like captures his mullet well, and
Yeah, yeah. The
his
hair's really
original
good on
ring
both of them.
attire. But yeah, the Razor Man, like I said, it's only the second ever Ultimate Edition figure I've gotten. The other one is actually going to be on our list later on. I won't give it away just
Mm.
yet.
The stubble looks good too. That must be that like printing one that goes through the machine, like the Vala toys and that. Just look of it.
Yeah, it's just a really, really nice sculpt. And even they've refined even the head is slightly smaller than a previous release I've gotten,
Yeah,
which I know that might sound like an odd compliment, but it suits the silhouette of the body better overall.
yeah.
The
It's
last
it's
head was
tricky when
maybe
you get
a bit
action
big.
figures where the head is too big or too small because you look at it and go, "What? Something's not right."
Yeah. And especially with wrestling figures as well, I suppose, because you've got so much of like the naked anatomy on show, like the very little clothes on, it kind of stands out if somebody has like a bit of a pinhead on top of a
Yeah,
big muscly body.
yeah. That's another good thing about stuff like the vest there is it covers up the joints and connections, so it doesn't looks a bit more seamless.
Yeah. And I suppose at the end of the day, Mattel, they are doing a very good job at their sculpts, but like, I'm not expecting like a NECA level attention to detail, because at the
No,
end of the day, it is a kid's toy. It is still supposed to be played with as a toy and, be used by children, even though they are characters that we love from the past. I think they are still expecting that the toy will be played with and
yeah.
knocked around, and, at least it's sturdy. It feels more like feels closer to a Motu Origins than, any type of adult collectible.
Mm. Like the updated head sculpts is what got me started buying wrestling figures in the last 5 years or whatever. I mean, I've had other ones I bought like 20 years ago, like Jacks and Toy Biz and that, which were cool figures, but like the more modern updated heads where they're really photo real and it really just amazing looking heads is what got me back into it. Because you look at some older releases and some characters look goofy as hell, like their faces don't look like anything. But then you've got even
Yeah.
really older ones from the early Jax figures. They did some amazing head sculpts, like really good.
Yeah, Jacks were really pioneers for their sculpts back in the day. And I think we've often mentioned, both kind of while we've been recording, but also in private and stuff. Like there's certain Jax figures that it feels like they never really improved on, like in the modern era,
No,
like they
well,
never
I
got as
got the
good a sculpt.
older Junkyard Dog from Jack's one. It was cheap, but it's better than the Mattel. Mattel one's way too skinny. It's just a buck reuse. And the Jack's one has not only a better face, better dick on the legs, and the back. You can see kind of fat and muscles on his back, which seems like a weird thing to look for, but you can notice it because you do not see it on those modern figures. They've all just got a plain, flat kind of back.
Yeah, we were talking about that Vader with the soft goods as well. Like the old Jack's
Yeah,
one,
I'm
like
still trying to
it's
get
almost
that.
like you
It's
can
only
see the.
one seller in the UK has it, and he's got like multiples of it, and no one else in the friggin' world on eBay seems to have it currently for sale. But he's got bad feedback for not packaging things properly, so that's why I haven't bought it yet.
Yeah, we might have to source a different
Mm.
seller for that purchase. SYXX. Yeah, another semi-recent buy. I was just delighted to get this figure. I do have
Mm.
one other version of SYXX that comes in as like he came with the NWO T-shirt and a can of spray paint, but it's they reused the same X-PAC face for a load of figures where it's him just sticking his tongue out, and I
Yeah,
was glad to actually finally get a figure of just him with a kind of like a static, unemotional face that's not him shouting or
yeah.
sticking out his tongue.
And if you want to
Um,
repurpose it, you can make a Foo Fighter out of that head as well.
certainly could. And I could even, I can pop that head now onto the other six figure. I can pop them
Yeah,
onto one of the
I
Xbox
like it when they
bodies, and it
keep
will
the
work.
neck posts. Like Mattel's pretty good at keeping similar necks. There's still variances, but most of them are compatible. But when you go to like Hasbro shit, like every year in Marvel Legends, the heads neck posts are always changing. Can't always swap the heads. Really pissing me off.
This guy, he's from the Monday Night War series that they're doing
Yeah,
at the moment. Really nice little series. I've actually picked up quite a few characters from it so far. There'll be another one on this list coming up, but
I think I saw in
really
that one
nice.
of those recent ways the Kevin Nash one, but he was really average, and I've already got a better older figure, so I was like, nope, pass on that one.
Yeah, if depending on the characters, like so, there've been certain characters that I've skipped because yeah, there was like Scott Hall, but he's wearing his like jeans and t-shirt, and Kevin Nash wearing his jeans. Like I don't want them in their street clothes. I want them. If I want them,
Yeah.
I want them in their full gimmick and gear.
Yeah, I
Um,
want them in their full gear. I'd only have the casual clothes if it had like outsiders as well on the shirt. They have done ones like that, but they're across multiple releases, and you'd have to do that Indiana Jones crap of buying three different figures to put together the combination to get the one you want.
the face sculpt on this six figure, I think, is really really good. Like they just
Mm,
captured his likeness perfectly.
excellent.
Even the knee pads are quite detailed as well. If you look, you can actually kind of see the metal studs on them like he had in
Yeah,
real
that's
life.
nice.
They just a really nice touch. Uh, they just nailed his whole silhouette, his ring attire. I love his just appearance from this time. This is like 1997. This
Hmm.
kind of appearance is taken from. He comes with two sets of hands as well. He comes with his flick, um, NWO hands, but he also has a couple of the kind of fist grabby hands as well. But I more or less always have him posed doing his too sweet because I just think it's really really cool, and I like just having him set up. Like at the moment, he's there on my shelf with his buddies Big Kev and Scott Hall as well. Like they're just thugging and bugging, acting all wolf pack, acting all thug life, and making life miserable for the baby faces on the shelf. But yeah, just a really really nice figure, and he's still on sale and easy to get as well. I'm nearly tempted to pick up a second one just to mess around with and maybe take other parts from him and see if I can make another
Yeah, if they're cheap,
X-PAC slash
it's easy
six.
to do. You get double and swap some bits, and then you got another combo.
Yeah, even though it's on a total tangent here. These wrestling figures, guys, I don't know if any of the rest of you out there collecting them at the moment feel this way, but they really just, they're like the worst figures for being like impulse buys. I'm always getting wrestling figures I don't plan on getting, or just like getting unnecessary wrestling figures because they look really nice. And it's like,
I've
oh, it's
got a
him in
pretty
his
strict
blue
list, and
figure.
I don't really go outside of it unless I find something really cheap for like $10.
Yeah, you see, as I'm sure most of us know, I'm a bit of a demon when it comes to like repaints and recolors of the same thing
Mm.
anyway. So wrestling figures, I can go down very deep rabbit holes when it comes to certain
Yeah, I got
characters. So
so
if
I
you,
got two Jimmy Harts. I got 3 different Ric Flairs, but totally different outfits, and I got about 6 Macho Man, but they're all different outfits.
Well, it's not just me, at least, who
It's like
suffers from this. Exactly. And look, that's part of collecting. We all do it to an extent. It's kind of why we love doing it, and it is though nice as a fan, and especially as someone who's like a long-term fan. And it's not just like with wrestling, it's the same if you're collecting like Marvel Legends or anything else. It is always nice if you can focus on a particular era and be like, right, I'm going to collect a group of guys that look like they're from the 1997 or 1998 lineup. You can focus on a particular time period and, you know, collect the characters from
like
that era
you
and
might
get a
like
nice
to have
little...
old Jim Neidhart and Brett in the blue pants, and then you might like to have a Brett and Owen in the pink. And
Yes, exactly. And you know, it means it's kind of one of those things like a non-collector or a non-fan will just look at it and go, okay, so you bought the same thing twice, except it's in different colors. Whereas if you're
I've got
actually,
3 or 4
if you're
Hogans
actually,
now, and I don't like Hogan, but they got good deals
yeah,
and totally different outfits and bits.
yeah, I'm actually ashamed to say I have, I think I have like 6 or 7 Hogans. Disgusted at myself. It's too bad the figures are so nice, you know. There he is with
There's a
his
lot of good
buddy
Hogan
Scott
figures. I see
Hall.
all the time different variants and ones that are quite, nice.
That Scott Hall figure behind him is pretty nice because he actually has his hair tied back in a ponytail, which is unusual for the... Yeah, usually it always has it just, you know, slicked back and going right down, but slight variation of it. Oh yeah, we see I gave him his kind of openy hands here, another set of hands just to mix it up a bit. Yeah, we got a... It's not the Kid and Razor Ramon anymore now. It's SYXX and Scott Hall. They've grown up. And I didn't just you know, put it out there. I didn't do this on purpose or anything. I didn't deliberately pick like young Sean Waltman and Scott Hall and then just later on pick an older version of them to be all, you know, artsy or reflective. It just worked out like that.
It's like G2.
Just happened. It's like I said, there's a real recency bias with all my picks for today. They're all figures I picked up recently, so it's just how it's going to be working
Yeah,
out.
there's nothing wrong with having lots of favorites. It's like, who's he kicking
For
in?
Eddie, that's
Oh,
a
it's Eddie.
young
Oh,
Eddie
yes, I
Guerrero,
recognise it.
a young Eddie Guerrero,
Hmm.
and that's another reason, man, why I like getting this version of SYXX, because now I have the Eddie Guerrero to go against them, because these two ring attires, this is both how Eddie Guerrero and SYXX looked when they had their ladder match for the United States
Oh,
Championship
nice.
at Sold Out '97. Famously, the only good match to happen on the entire show was the ladder match between Eddie Guerrero and SYXX. And I definitely recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it. It's two young guns going out there and trying to just prove that, you know, athleticism and, you know, skill will win the day over, you know, declining physiques and long rambling promos and NWO run-ins and blah de blah. But yeah, I'm a fan of that Eddie Guerrero as well. I nearly included him in my list because he is another one of the guys I picked up recently. Also think there's just a nice contrast here of good guy Eddie Guerrero in the white versus evil
Spy
SYXX in
versus
black.
Spy. It's called.
Yes, something about SYXX as well, or maybe it's just a figure. He kind of reminds me a bit of that guy from Streets of Rage 3. You know, the karate guy you fight, and then you can later play as him. Is it Shiva? Is that
Yeah,
his name?
yeah,
He
Shiva. Yeah,
reminds me a little bit of him. If I could get like maybe get another Great Muta figure and put his like karate outfit on him, and then he could be Shiva.
that'd be fun. Yeah.
Good balance with these elite figures as well. Like, see the way I have him there, kind of he can do his like standing kicks, and you know, the articulation works well enough where the joints, you get plenty of articulation, but the joints are still stiff enough that they can hold a pose, and you can actually have them standing on one leg or whatever and doing some nice action poses. So I'll always be appreciative, you know, of that. Mattel do a good job in that respect.
Yeah, it's very nice. I like both these figures a lot. Like I got a short hair Eddie, which is kind of like late '90s, 2000 era. I would happily have a second one with the long hair if I can get it. It would be awesome. Oh yeah, so
Oh
I
yeah.
bought this guy 2 days ago. CM Punk.
Love him. And I'd love to get this figure as well, I have to
So
say.
this just turned up at our local shops and they actually had a whole wave. Normally you don't see jack shit at our local shop. If anything's there, it's been picked clean and it's a smaller store that doesn't get a lot compared to the other bigger stores. But I went in and it was like, oh, there's a whole wave. And immediately I flipped the box over, what's on the back. Then I went through all the rest of the rack because there's older stuff and then the new stuff shoved all mixed in together. So you got to see what's there. It's like a fucking lucky dip what's actually going to be there. But yeah, I was real happy to get this one because I was already thinking of buying a second CM Punk figure. I got that AEW Ultimate Style one with the multiple heads and shirts and this and that. And it has like loads of sets of hands. It has like hands that can go like this. But I really like the look he has now on Raw, just with his like classic logo on the t-shirt and that. But this one's got the nice cloth shirt, so you can take that off. And it's I was just like, couldn't believe I found it at my local store. Normally I didn't find nothing at the local store.
The attention to detail to actually have the drug-free tattooed onto the knuckles, like to actually include
Yeah,
that.
I didn't know that was there. I was just like going, "What's this?" Thinking it would just be all squiggly, and I look because I could just read it, but my eyes are not. If I go this close, my eyes start going blurry. You know, because you can't see the small print. So when I took it with the camera, I could actually see it better.
One thing I like about CM Punk as well, it's kind of just because apart from like some gray hairs in his beard or whatever, his look hasn't really changed that much since he
Yeah,
actually left WWE way back in like 2013 or whatever, 2014.
just
Like
like
he's
short hair, long hair, and like yellow stuff or Bret Hart colors, and but yeah,
yeah,
mostly keeps his look.
I really like though that soft goods t-shirt. That's actually one
That's what made me
modern
want to get
wrestling
it. If it
t-shirt.
was printed on, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
bought it. Because now I can switch
I
it onto
wouldn't
my
mind
other
that.
CM Punk or put my other AEW Punk parts on him if I want to.
Is that Drew McIntyre he's in the ring with?
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of which, we might have a slight diversion here for a moment. Cue the music. In the ring under the light so bright, two warriors gearing up for a fight. CM Punk, the voice of the crowd, versus Drew McIntyre, fierce and proud. They face a struggle, they've paid the dues. In the square circle, there's nothing to lose. The crowd's on fire, they're ready to see which one of these giants is gonna be free. Oh, it's Punk and Drew, clash of the titans. Battling it out, fists like lightning. Ain't no place to run, ain't no place to hide. When these two collide, it's a wild ride. Punk's got that look, he's a straight-edge king. With kicks so strong, he'll make the ring sing. Drew's got the power of a Scottish machine. With Claymore in hand, he's lean and mean. They've been through the war, they've broken the chains. Now they're laying it all down in the flames. With every slam, with every strike, the crowd's going out, this is the fight. Oh, it's Punk and Drew, clash of the titans. Battling it out, fists like lightning. Ain't no place to run, ain't no place to hide. When these two collide, it's a wild ride. For Slight Lightning, I watched that match again
Just
today and
like
I was like,
lightning.
yeah, I remember I'd done that nonsense video ages back.
It's it's a quality match and a quality feud
Yeah.
for a modern
Yeah, they
wrestling
built it up
feud
pretty
that you can
well
actually get into.
all last year and that the Drew McIntyre and Punk and him being injured out at the start and having big gaps forced him to draw it out much longer than they ordinarily would have if he was there full time. But it made it more like a 70s, 80s wrestling feud where it went over 12 months instead of like 3 or 4 weeks and then pay per view and then they forget it and they're like, who's going to fight now? It's like everyone fights fucking everyone now on the current shows. That makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah. The beauty of that feud with Punk and Drew was that because the injuries kind of added to it in the sense it kept them away from each other for a long
Yeah.
period of time for having physical
Anticipation built up
one-on-one
much better. I
matches.
thought it was better storytelling. And then when he'd come and when he wasn't even supposed to be there, and he'd turn up and interfere in one of his matches and cost him the title, that was awesome.
Yeah, and it it makes a massive difference when you're when you're really craving the match coming up, as opposed to just them running
Yeah.
it back to back 3 months in a row or whatever. It's just like,
And when you see him like
yeah,
fight like every week, and here's the promo and here's the recap, it's like, no, give me a gap, give me time to build it up and anticipate it.
true. I would expect them to say something like that. I love the tattoos on him as well.
Yeah, I haven't taken the shirt right off. I kind of snaked it up, and he's definitely got plenty of tattoos because I got the other figures, so they're mostly the same. I didn't feel the need to take it off yet.
Like we know what tattoos he won't have. He won't have the Cobra logo, and he won't
No,
probably have the Pepsi logo, I'm guessing. Even though
it
Pepsi
just has a
recently,
circle. Just have like a circle shaped smudgy thing.
I think Pepsi recently were actually kind of praising the fact that he had their logo. So maybe they'll end up giving permission for them to use it.
Mm.
Who knows? Who knows?
And he comes with a couple of sets of hands too. You got the gripper ones, the punching ones. I can't remember the other ones now. But, I think they're sitting next to me over here. Yeah, he's got them over here somewhere. Yeah, they both got the whether you go punchy hands or grippy hands, they both got got the like X's on them and that, and look decent. Actually, they both have the thing about the drug free on the knuckles and both as well. So
That's
very
great
nice.
that they actually that they did it on the other sets of hands, because
Yeah,
you would have forgiven them if you said, oh well, it's closed fist, so we'll leave them on the closed fist, but we don't need to put them on his open hands. But they did. Fair play.
but yeah,
I
I
wonder
was
would the
genuinely excited to find that figure in store. When I saw it, I was like, "That's mine." Picked that up and like put it down over here a minute and look through the rest of the rack. And I'm like, "No, getting that and getting the fuck out of here."
I do need a CM Punk figure. I would like to get this kind of modern version. I'd also like to get one of him from around 2008, 2009, where he has like the long hair and he looks like the kind of cult Jesus type character. You know,
Yeah,
he's doing the straight edge society and all that type of stuff.
yeah.
Oh yeah, here's a
But
main
this
eventer
guy,
for you.
it's about 2 years worth of looking up listings and trying to find a good deal on this figure. I bought it loose, complete. I mean, because he's got the bagpipes, it's got the cloth shirt, hot rod, and cloth kilt. And this figure's an older one. You can see it's got that elbow that's like that older buck, but he's still got a really good face sculpt. And um, if you look behind him there, that's Piper in there in the blue trunks as well. But I really wanted to have him with the bagpipes and the full cloth outfits because they don't do those outfits anymore. You can get some ultimate ones where he's got like the leather jacket that you would see more in the WCW era. But a lot of the modern ones, they're not very good. So this older one is still, to me, about the best one I've ever done. But I chased it for ages trying to find it. Most people had them box, and in the box they wanted like $100. I'm like, no. I'm like, give me a $50 loose one. So
Yeah, you want to open that bad boy. You don't want to be paying out
yeah.
the nose for a boxed example. He looks fantastic. He
And
looks
sometimes they're
fantastic. And
missing the soft goods, but this had all the bits. So I was just like so happy to get it.
I have to say, I know what you mentioned there. You can tell it's the older sculpt, but you can see the kind of the way the joints are done. But like spoiler, there's going to be one of those on my list too. And I don't really mind. Like at the end of the day, like we said earlier, like they are still made as toys. They're made to be played. But I'm not expecting like NECA levels of sculpting here. But he's a great looking figure overall. This Roddy Piper
Yeah,
bagpipes.
I was actually originally going to buy see that blue one in the background, which makes me think of like him versus Greg Valentine in the old blue. I was going to buy a second one of that figure and just add a shirt or something on that from people that sell stuff like that. But then the only time I ordered a bunch of shirts from the UK, they disappeared in the mail and never turned up. So put the kibosh on that plan.
What are those little gold stands that they're on? Are they from a different wrestling set, or what are they from?
Ones they're just like and like I mean that one's the Rock. Like I can see the bull primer bull on it on there.
Yeah,
But I haven't got many stands. I haven't got enough stands. But the ones that come into those 2 packs, I've got. Well, I can count 5 over there. I just chuck them on whatever figure. They don't match the figure, but they're just because some of them won't balance very well. I mean, he balances fine, but I've got this on a shelf where if one goes, they'll domino and go all over the fucking place.
yeah. You have to take those precautions.
Yeah, there's no good cheap stands. If you live in Australia, you're fucked trying to get figure stands. So I repurpose ones from McFarlane Toys and other stuff.
The rivals squaring off here.
Yeah,
The old
that's the other
Mania
thing.
main
When I got
event.
that figure, it completed my 4 that's sitting just over about there. I got Orndorff, Piper, T, Hogan. So it's like WrestleMania 1.
Yeah, like I said, like I do have a Roddy Piper. My only Roddy Piper is like a Day Live version of Roddy Piper,
Yeah,
so
I
I need
remember
to
now.
get some type of wrestling gear version of him just to stick in there with the rest of the guys.
Between you
Like,
and me, that one in the blue trunks, don't go buying that because there's a reason not
okay,
to buy it. Okay,
okay.
it's not a bad figure, but there's already one on the way here that I'm going to be sending to you, so just don't go buying that one.
Well, very cool. I'm
Yeah, I got
excited.
it cheap on eBay from the same seller. I got that one. He had more old stock of them. I was like, fuck it, I'll get another one.
I think did that Mr. T appear on our previous list for your picks?
Yeah, it's the same one. Although now I have 2 of them. It's like actually I have that's the ultimate with all the bits, but I have a second Mister T that someone it's parts of the ultimate and he's done some kind of part swap on the body or whatever. But the regular ultimate comes with that robe, heap of accessories and stuff. But so between the 2 figures, you got these 2 different head sculpts, so I can put different accessories and different heads on each one, and have one just
Awesome.
in his underoos and all that without the robe.
That's cool. That was a great Ultimate Edition. I wish I had paid more attention to those Ultimate Editions now.
I
I
think the
had
T
been
and like NWO Hogan, NWO Madness, Macho, they're probably my 3, and the Kane figure. They're my favourites out of the Ultimates.
like there was another couple of ones I've had my eye on that I've seen. Like when I went and got Razor last week, they had the Stone Cold Steve Austin with all, got the soft goods T-shirt. He's got the vest. He's
Yeah,
got loads of
I'm
interchangeable
probably going to
headlights.
get a second Austin, just get the soft goods shirt because I've got a regular one, which is the same figure as the Ultimate, but he doesn't have the extra shirts or anything. Some of the Ultimates are a complete rip-off. Like you get like Ultimate John Cena or Batista, you're not getting fuck all more than just the regular elites. It's just the same figure, and there's hardly just extra hands. But stuff like the Mr. T with the proper boxing robe, and he's got not one but 2 gold chains. There's the big one, and there's actually a little one underneath it. So that really makes it much better. Plus, the 2 face sculpts are phenomenal. Some of the best they've ever done, I think.
Main event lineup here.
Yeah,
First ever Mania main event. Like
yeah.
that
When I get
Paul
another
Orndorff.
shelf set up in the room, I'm gonna pick up another wrestling ring. My first display is I'm going to put like these guys in the ring.
Yeah, a wrestling ring is definitely on my short list of things to pick
Mm.
up, or at least some wrestling ring ropes, just to replace my ones.
Yeah, well, you can. There's so many of that basic Mattel one. They're released so many times. I can always buy it on eBay or whatever and for a reasonable
Yeah,
price and get a second one. So next pick here is
Sherry,
Sherry. Scary
looking
Sherry.
great, Sherry, scary Sherry, the sensational one, and I'm assuming because she's got her, we can see the heart silhouettes in her outfit,
Yeah,
which means it's her heartbreak kid, toy boy era of managing.
yeah.
As I said, I
I almost
believe
got
at
this.
the time.
Almost got the Sean to go with that one, but this other Sean was the same price and just a nicer figure. So I just went, fuck it, I'll pair them up, even though it's just from a couple of years difference or whatever with the different outfits.
Who cares? You'll always be able to get Shawn Michaels figures, so I'm
Yeah,
sure you'll find another
but
one that
yeah,
will
check out
match
like
her
the
up
little
again.
like the makeup and the mascara and the fucking Bride of Frankenstein looking hair. So many great details on this figure.
And yeah, even just nice attention to detail on her outfit, because I think if we know that kind of classic Sherry and Shawn Michaels look, they nail the outfit pretty much spot on for her. Like you can even kind of see the fishnet kind of details on the leg
Yeah, like
area
the
as well.
fishnet
Like
stocking things, hanging
they've
out with the Predator, no doubt.
is she relatively newish? Because she doesn't look
I think
as
it's from the
clunky.
last 2 or 3 years. I'm not hundred
Yeah, I
percent
was
sure,
thinking
but I've
that.
not seen a reuse of that particular one. but it's definitely the most updated head sculpt and all that.
She definitely is someone who deserves to have a few different figures because she had lots of different looks over the years. Like
Yeah,
I'd love if they did a Queen Sherry to go with Macho King. Maybe they already
that'd be
have, but I've never seen it.
like I was when I
That's the
got that
thing about
figure, I was either going to get the Liz or this one, and I just went. I didn't base it on who I liked, but I just went objectively. This was just a super detailed, really good figure. And then now the same stock on the old stock on the store of that Liz, this same one you got, is now like half price. I'm going to buy it probably after the show.
there's those. Well, it's not exactly an impulse buy; it's a semi-planned buy because you're going to wait
Yeah.
till after the show to do it.
Well, I bought these two together from the same set. I didn't want to buy one without the one of them to go together. And it's the same thing with the Liz. Obviously, I got half a dozen macho men, so it doesn't matter. But I can put her with any of those macho men. Just like Liz alone, I don't particularly want to buy. I want to got to have it with macho men, otherwise it doesn't make sense. Speaking of
Yeah.
which,
Speaking of which, and the reason I was asking about how old that Sherry figure was, this Liz figure is quite old. This
still a
is a
very good sculpt.
total
Yeah.
really good sculpt. So look, the story behind this figure, I found this figure last week by accident. I went up north shopping with my wife. She was looking around some clothes shops, and I took myself off to this kind of like discount shop that was in the same kind of block just to have a look around. Went to the toy section, was rummaging through. They did have wrestling figures, but they're all, you know who they were. It was Seth Rollins and all these other fucking guys that
Oh my
just like,
god! The other week, I saw nearly 10 Seth Rollins. Like it was like an entire case of Seth Rollins and nothing else on the shelves. I'm not
man,
joking.
there's like a conspiracy, a global conspiracy to make as much Seth Rollins figures as possible and just flood the
And there was
market.
also
I'm
that
pretty
Jade
convinced of it.
Cargill. There was like nearly 8 of her, and like I looked on the back, and I'm like, "Where's the rest of the fucking wave?" It's just a whole box of the same figure.
But anyway, right in the back, wedged in between these two shelves, was this old elite Miss Elizabeth. And this figure, it's at least what 4 or 5 years old now. It's a pretty old
Yeah, for
figure.
sure.
Um, so that was probably something somebody found in the stock room in the back and literally just chucked it up in the back of the shelf. Uh, I was actually worried it wasn't going to scan when I was coming up to the till with it, that it wasn't going to ring through because the box was like mangled as well. But I was delighted to finally get a Miss Elizabeth, because I've a few macho mans, and it was nice to
So
get
what
one. This is
machos
the
do you have?
version I have. So looking here, I have Macho Slim Jim Macho in the kind of black, red, and yellow. Then I have Mega Maniacs Macho. You know, from that match that never happened. It was originally supposed to be him teaming with Warrior, but then Warrior gets like he no shows the event at the last moment. But
Yeah,
he's in full on red and yellow. He almost looks like Hulk Hogan. So he goes well with this Liz figure because she's in the red and yellow as well. And then I have like a Macho King, but I think I'd rather get a Sensational Sherry to go with the Macho King that I have, just because he's the king
yeah.
and not the
I,
man
I
at
have
that point.
I have one of the Macho King figures, but he's got no accessories. It was just like a loose one I got.
Thing I like about this Liz though, it's her appearance from that SummerSlam match where she gets up on the ring apron. We reviewed it recently for Boba Joe's show. She
Yeah,
gets up on the ring apron and she takes off the underneath of her dress to reveal that she's wearing the yellow bathing suit, and it causes all the heels to lose their mind and get totally distracted that this beautiful woman is wearing a bathing suit in the ring, and it's Jesse Ventura is like running to try and cover her up. But yeah, that's the look that this figure is going for, and I think they nailed it. And it's a really nice figure. Like it's
the
like a
hair looks
painted on
amazing.
bathing suit. Yeah, yeah, it looks great. The face sculpt is really nice. Like she actually, like it actually captures how very pretty Liz actually was in real life. Like just a really nice face sculpt. Um, but yeah, so the way they kind of work the figure is like the bathing suit and everything is painted on underneath, but the dress, the exterior dress is like a soft goods dress that can be removed, so you can literally do the whole reveal of, hey,
Yeah,
I'm wearing the bathing
it's a bit
suit
naughty.
underneath the dress. Yes, saucy stuff from Liz back in 1988, uh, when she did that reveal. I should probably just while we're talking about it, and just because it appears here, I will add that Lucha Lowrider car is one of my favorite wrestling toys that I've picked up
Yeah. So
recently.
who did that come with?
That came with a little Rey Mysterio figure that I'm pretty
Right.
sure I fed to my T-Rex. Like I just stuck it in his mouth. I think that's where he still is. Um, because it's modern old man Rey Mysterio. I didn't give a shit about it. But the vehicle itself is a quality vehicle. Even if you're not into wrestling and you just want to get yourself a car for
Yeah, it's
6 inch
cool.
or 7 inch scale figures, it's an epic. And it's got, it's got the boot that pops open, and you can store stuff in there if you
Nice.
want. It's just a really nice car, 4-seater, not like overly detailed, but I love it. It's just a great, and you'll
Get it
often
on the
see them at
TMNT.
discount as well. Really nice, really nice. Yeah, it was probably, and I don't usually buy the wrestling or the WWE vehicles, but I would definitely consider buying a couple more, because that Lucha Lowrider is really good fun. They did the ambulance as well. They call it the Slambulance. I wouldn't mind
Yeah,
getting
I've
that.
seen that
I
one
think
in
it
the
would be a pretty
store.
cool toy. Plus, it would be good for even doing like non-wrestling related, like dioramas and stuff.
True.
Yeah, that Liz, really nice sculpt. And even though it is the old articulation, like you can even see there the way the knee joints and everything are done, I still think she casts a nice silhouette and is a nice, a good looking figure. I'm not trying to objectify her too much, and even out of respect, and just to focus on the lady herself, I refrained from actually having either Macho Man or Lex Luger or anybody like that in the pictures with her. I just wanted to showcase her in all her feminine glory and being beautiful and being by herself. And yeah, I thought her yellow and red attire went well with the red and yellowish gold on the Lucha Lowrider. So I thought it was nice for a couple of shots with the Lucha Lowrider and the lovely Liz. Some
Yeah, it's a
L
cool
being
car.
thrown
Like,
at you.
it'd be good if they released that
Really
car
nice.
again in like different decos and reuse it. Would be nice.
Well, I even said at the time when I bought it, I wouldn't mind picking up another one on discount, so I could literally just spray paint it purple and kind of turn it into a makeshift Hotmobile.
So give us
Here's
2 or 3 weeks, and that Liz and Stunning Steve will be on the way here. I just ordered them. I couldn't wait because I'll probably forget.
nice, and that's the stunning Steve that matches with
Yeah,
the
because I've got
Brian
Flying
Pillman.
Brian over there, so it'd be great to have the two together now.
That's awesome. You'll have the complete Hollywood blondes.
Yeah, I was going to buy it ages ago, the Stunning Steve, and I went just because I'm an Austin fan. But then I was like, will I get it? Will I not? Does it fit my collection? But then I found that Flying Brian in a Target store, and it was such a great figure. I went, there's no way I'm not getting that. So I thought, no, I'm definitely going to get the Austin to go with him.
Ah, Muta. So this is the other Ultimate Edition figure that was on my list. Razor Ramon obviously being the first. And this is actually a variant figure because the usual Ultimate Edition Great Muta actually
Red, isn't
has
it?
red face paint. Yeah, he's red face paint wearing red pants, whereas this one's got the black and white face paint and the black pants. So I thought that was a pretty cool variant,
Yeah,
just to
it's really nice.
find in the shop. And this is actually a great figure, even if you are not really into wrestling, but you want just like a cool looking character in this scale. It's a very cool looking figure, I have to say. That this
Yeah, and he's
Great
got the
Muta,
nice
and
headdress and the robe, and it really like makes it good, like
yeah,
good options for displaying it.
I actually put that kind of red headdress on my like Masters of the Universe Ninjor figure recently, and it made him look really cool. And I went with his kind of red and black aesthetic that he's already got going on. But yeah, a really good figure. Just like Razor, he came with the three different heads, and he even came with one that's spitting out the green mist, which was a
Mm.
pretty cool feature to have. He's got, of course, the interchangeable hands, but yeah, the the real kind of I think kind of star accessories of the set are his soft goods kind of robe, which just looks really cool, but
Yeah,
also
Mattel
the
do really good
actual that
soft good. I mean, for their wrestling figures, I mean, I guess I don't know why, but I assume being the Barbie company for so long, they're just better at doing material and soft good stuff. Because most companies
yeah
don't do it. Like Hasbro, Marvel Legends, you're not getting a soft good. GI Joe, you're not getting a
yeah
soft good, even though that was like the original 12-inch line known for soft goods.
yeah they always seem to really nail it, and like we seen there, like obviously with the Liz figure we just looked at, and now with his robe as well,
Hmm.
it's really nice. And I think that kind of that's yeah the whole what where the ultimate editions really come in strong is on the accessories that you get, that you can
Yeah,
switch things up enough to
it's more
actually
like
make
getting a
the guy
Japanese
look
import
different.
where it's got all the stuff it should have to start with.
And just really nice attention to detail. That sting he's hitting there is a really old sting. Like
I'd love to
that's
get
from like
that
the
Sting. I
basic
can't find
line.
any good deal on a Surface Sting anywhere. They're just they're not around and people keep them or whatever. You can never find a good one.
AEW have been producing some surfer stings recently. It might be worth your while looking around,
Yeah, I think I was looking at one the other week. I might have to check it out again.
especially now that
I'll try.
WWE lost the license. Oh, boss
Yeah,
man.
Big Boss Man. Yeah, I got this one a few months back, and it came in the 2-pack with the Bam Bam Bigelow. We got 3 heads each. I haven't even looked at the other heads because in those Coliseum collection cards, there was a card each inside a big box with nice artwork on it. And there was a at first when I opened it, I went, "Where the fuck are the extra heads?" I went, "Oh no, they're not there. They're in a separate little box that's hiding away inside the bubble, so you don't even notice it." So I haven't actually opened it because the heads were on them. I knew from looking online what the 3 heads were. So the heads that I already had on was like, that's the ones I want.
Boss man, though, really nice figure. Really captures Ray Trailer's likeness, like with the
Yeah, it's
face
excellent.
sculpt and
The,
everything.
bloody the baton or tonfa, it clips onto his side. There's a little hole like the hole in old Sid's chest that Vader stuck his thumb in. A little hole in there to clip it in. Is actually it's a C clip. It looks like a Lego part or something. It literally is a C clip with a stem, and it goes to his hip, and then the tonfa plugs into that. But it was so loose every time I put it in, it just falling out, falling out, falling out. So I finally glued it the other night. Not the tonfa, just the clip because it's not supposed to come out once it's in there. And the handcuffs, they're like those handcuffs are a piece of shit, but they come with the McFarlane Batman 66 Batgirl from like the TV show, and one of the crappiest accessories I've ever seen. Never used it for Batgirl because there's nothing she can even do with them. But when I had the Boss Man, I thought, oh, I wonder if I can have it with him. I just chucked it on there, and it's the same, pretty much same shade of blue, so that's where it's staying
Yeah.
there.
No, it suits him. Suits him. He can use Batgirl's cuffs to arrest some folks. Oh, that's a great shot. Bet to get
That's
the
the chair
Bam
I'm
Bam
sitting on
moonsault.
right now. That's what it is. It's a swivel chair with no back.
That's fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic.
Because I
Yeah,
was
he's
I
about
was
to get
in reading that
salted.
Vader book about him doing his moonsaults, and they said when he started doing that in WCW, but after that, Bam Bam started doing his one. Mhm.
Yeah. Which big man has the better big moonsault? We'll let the fans decide. Let us
Yeah.
know in the comments who you think. Whose moonsault would you like to actually take? Who would you be least afraid of taking a
I'll
moonsault
take Bobby
from?
Heenan's moonsault.
Yeah, that's the Bam Bam figure that came with that set is a great figure too.
He's
Really
awesome.
nice
Yeah,
detail. Once again, though, this is one of these things where if you're not really a wrestling fan, but say if you want a good like a cop figure to have in a diorama
yeah,
or an action scene for a photo, that big boss man would do the trick on so many levels. Like
yeah.
he's
The
just
details are real nice. You can see the little kind of arrow insignias and bits on the shoulders, so it looks really nice as part of the uniform. And then the strap
and I
across
know I'm
the back.
calling we say cop, but of course those in the know that it's actually a prison officer uniform,
Yeah,
isn't
he's
that
like a
right?
security guard or prison officer. Or
But I always just get that kind of, I don't know, the vibe is like I always get is like the motorcycle cops. If you put like a motorcycle helmet with him, he'd be
yeah, you
totally
could.
like license and registration, please.
I always like the theme of Big Boss Man because he's like meant to be, like official and all that, but it's like the guy he's meant to not like or think, oh, he's he's going to be crooked or he's bad or something.
Yeah, and you can play it both ways as well, because as a heel, he can be the cruel prison officer who treated the inmates terribly, and he's crooked and on the take. But as a good guy, he's like, oh no, I'll never take a bribe, and I'll stand up for law and order, and I'll even have theme music that talks about standing up for law and order. So
I love that he comes with the sunglasses too, which you can see there, they're just kind of popping up above his eyes. And it's still got
yes,
that plastic thing that was in the package, because when I took it out, I went, those are going to fall off in 2 seconds. I'm just going to leave those
yeah.
on there.
I've done that before with a few accessories where they're literally still kind of almost
It
yeah,
doesn't have a
taped
macho
onto the
hat
guy's
to help
hand.
hold them on. So,
Yeah, if you didn't have that there, you'd need to find like a safe box essentially for the
yeah.
glasses.
And where I've got him on my shelf, he's right at the back because he's a taller, bigger bloke. He's in the back row. And there's a slight gap on my crappy IKEA wooden shelves where anything like that small will fall down the inside of the shelf and I'll never see it again.
Jimmy Horse on the call here.
Yeah, I was so happy to get this Jimmy Hart, man, because I got I think last year or whenever the hell it was, beginning of this year, I got the WCW one in the yellow, and I've got him next
That's
to my
really nice.
WCW Hulkster Hogan from when he, before he went heel and that. But I only got that one because that was the only good one I could find at the time. I still wanted to get like a real classic one with the megaphone and the pink, and I was real happy to get this one just a couple months back. And I got a reasonable deal on it. It was another like loose figure out of package, but it had the megaphone. He's got pink jacket, sunglasses, and he's got the piano key necktie. That just brings the whole
Yeah,
ensemble together, man. The piano key necktie.
it's like classic Jimmy Hart, and he's somebody who you could even like say if you got one of those lucha lowriders, you could spray paint it pink.
Yeah,
You'd stick him in the back seat, get a honky tonk man and a Greg Valentine, and stick
yeah.
them
Get
in the
some
front, and you could be
B-52s playing on your soundtrack.
yeah, you could do all sorts with them.
But
That's
look,
cool.
look
I
at
never actually
love that
noticed.
hair, man. Look all the little waves in the hair. This is awesome.
There's also writing on the megaphone. I never noticed that before, and I have that
Oh, I
megaphone.
don't know what the hell it says. I can pick him up. I
Yeah, I have
guess
no
it's just
idea.
sit there. I'll have a look.
I've
Let's see if my
never
old
even
man
noticed
eyes
that.
that are getting blurrier when I try to look at stuff close, I can read it. It's too much glare from the light. I have
I
to
bet
take
you I
another
know what it
photo.
says. It says China. It
It
says
does too.
China.
Yeah, it does. He's a fan of China.
He is a fan of China. Shout
Oh,
out
he's
to
dominoed.
Bob
He's
Hansen
dominoed
and
Jimmy
the
Hart
Fun
when I put him back on
Boxings.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Jimmy Hart. He's in the pocket of the Chinese. Who'd have known? He was
But
working
yeah,
with
I
them
just love
the
that
whole
look, man. Like the
time.
sunglasses and thing.
He looks fantastic. And I think it's a great look because you could put him with a few guys. Like you could, like I said, you could either do
Yeah,
him like Rhythm and Blues with Honky Tonk Man and Greg Valentine. You could also stick him with a Hart Foundation if you had like whatever way you want to position him. He could be there with
yeah. I'm
any
still
any
trying to get an
any.
Owen figure, but there's only 2 or 3 in existence. They're all super expensive.
I love the. Is that the Jack's Junkyard
Yeah, that's
Dog?
the Jack's JYD. Look at that face sculpt, man. That's
Yeah, he
amazing.
looks great, man. He looks
And
fantastic.
he's thicker. He's thicker and wider, like his actual physique. Not the Mattel one's too skinny.
Great idea for the chains as well.
Yep, $5 at the hardware store. It's an actual dog collar like type chain.
Is that who's standing behind them in the combat gear? Who is
Flying
that?
Brian and Bushwhackers.
Oh, the Bushwhackers. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And I chucked a coat on one of the Bushwhackers that came with some other toy. I don't know what it was, but I just put it on that black coat because it actually fit on there.
Yeah, that threw me off because I kind of thought it might have been the Bushwhackers with the combat gear, but then I couldn't tell with the jacket.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
both
no,
come with
Jimmy Hart.
the hats, and then I just chucked that thing on them just one day when I was mucking around.
Yeah, he looks like your angry uncle who's just back from the deer hunting trip and he's drunk and he didn't kill anything, so he's going to take it out on you.
He accidentally shot a man, and now he's on the run.
Yeah, man, I think we might have said this before in one of the other shows. Jimmy Hart's one of those guys who he'll be collecting royalties for action figures for the rest of his
Yeah,
life just because he had so
and
many
and his
different ring
music
attires.
royalties, no doubt.
Yeah, he was really managed to just have so many different looks, like, because you could make like 50 Jimmy Hart figures and they could all be different. He'd so many different ring attires that he wore
Yeah,
out
like,
there.
when I
So
think of different outfits, it's like Macho and Jimmy Hart seem to have like a million outfits.
I think way back when we might have done our first favorite wrestling fig show, I think I had a Jimmy
Mm,
Hart in there as well. So he's always got a good presence. The
yeah,
King, good old Jerry Lawler. Now, this is one of those figures where, so first of all, I do like this figure, that's why I have him here. But in a way, I kind of wish he'd gotten the elite treatment, so he could have had a soft goods jacket instead of that rubber jacket. Because with the rubber jacket, you can't really do anything with the arm articulation. You kind of have to keep his arms straight. Whereas at least if he'd had soft goods, you could do some good posing with the jacket on. So that would be my
yeah, like I got the
only
blue
complaint.
one, which is another older, but that one's soft goods. That one,
Yeah, he looks great. That guy.
and he has that hat's the same hat, but he obviously has the blue version of that same hat crown thing. But yeah,
Yeah, I
I'm
got
tempted to get that red one as well.
another recent pickup. Uh, Not a perfect figure by any means, but I like him because he's got the classic red and black Jerry
Yeah, and
Lawler
it just
just
makes me think of like
colors.
Memphis wrestling and that.
And I'd actually say if I had that blue guy that you had, I'd probably pop his head on the body of this one, and then you'd have a real classic 80s Lawler, young
Yeah,
Lawler look.
I
I
want to
think the
get the
stuff
red
he's
one,
sporting here
and
is,
there's some third party company who makes accessories for wrestling figures, including a commentator's desk, chairs, ladders, all sorts of other bullshit. Um, but I'd like to get him and have him on, pick up that AEW Black Hat JR and have them sitting down on the chairs doing commentary next to one of those Mattel rings that kind of brings it. It's not quite a diorama, but it brings it together, you know. And then you can put in your different dudes for a classic match in the ring. And,
for my minor complaints about that jacket, I will say the jacket still actually does look great when you see him
oh,
there
it's still,
with
yeah, it
it
looks
on,
good. If there's a
and
bit,
you
just
see
a
like
bit
he's got the
better, they
little,
could have the soft one. I have
yes, yeah,
seen
I
some
like
older
the little
ones that I think are the same buck as this old one that do have the little like goatee beard one from when he was younger and that.
and another kind of maybe minor complaint I'd have about the rubber jacket is when he has it on, because it's such a static kind of wide thing. It makes his legs look kind of skinny when he's wearing it,
Oh, it
because
does.
it
Yeah.
makes his upper body looks really wide, and then he looks like he's got skinny legs. Whereas with the soft goods, you
And
could
you're not
probably
going to be
maybe,
moving their arms too much, I guess.
no, he can't even raise his crown to put it on his head when he's
It's
wearing
like
his
Michael
rubber
Keaton
jacket.
Batman. He's just going to be like turning his whole body to do anything.
But it is overall, though, I would say it's a nice figure. It's another one of those Monday Night War ones. So
Yeah.
really, he's got the up to date buck with the articulation. You can see, of course, as well, he's got the nice, the crown outline going down the sides of his legs and on the side of his boots. Just have him dropping the King's elbow here. Who's
I
he
just got
dropping
that
on? Bret Hart, maybe?
Jerry Lawler Blu-ray the other day, and it has like the classic the "Kiss My Feet" match with Bret Hart and all that, and it's like so good. And he's in the locker room where he's taking the shoe off, and he's like, "Look at this! I've been keeping this sock unwashed for like a month, and it's so disgusting and cheesy." And but yeah, good had some good matches on there. It was like about 8 hours worth of stuff, 2 disc Blu-ray.
Oh, cool.
It's called "It's Good to Be the King." It was called, and it had early classic matches. Had the Kaufman stuff, and then it had a bunch of like the promos and stuff. You know, where he's talking to the camera and doing gags and stories and shit.
I'd love to get that actually, because Lawler matches, they're
And it's
not
got the
the
doco. It's
easiest to
got that
come by.
hour doco where he's sitting at the drawing board and talking about his career.
Yeah, I'd love to watch it. And even like the extras alone would be enough probably to
Yeah,
tempt
there's
me
heaps of extras. It
into
was
picking
cheap
that
as
up.
well. Like the Blu-ray version was actually cheap.
And of course, folks, we are massive fans of physical media on this show. We always preach you may as well pick this stuff up while it's still in circulation, while you can
Yeah, I've
still
just
get
picked
your
up my
hands on it.
$600 Man Bionic Woman last month on sale, mid-year sale, and more
Hopefully,
wrestling DVDs.
maybe AEW will release like a classic Jim Ross figure. That would be nice because then we could have
They've got
the King and Jim
they've
Ross.
got that one that's it's like modern one where he's wearing the glasses, which throws me off. I don't like the glasses on Jim Ross as a figure. I mean, the real man, his business, got to look after his own eyes, obviously. But on the
Yeah.
figure, I'm like, no, I really wanted like '90s JR, and it just doesn't exist. There's some older figures, but there's really basic sculpts that don't look like anybody at all. And I just went, no, I'd rather have nobody than a terrible figure.
I know. I was glad though just to get that version of Jerry the King. I actually do like this look for him anyway in general, and that's just because I think this is around the time they were doing the like 1997 ECW Invasion when they were promoting that first ECW pay per view on WWF television. And like, so Jerry the King Lawler, he's like managing, Rob Van Dam, and Rob Van Dam's doing the whole Mr. Monday Night gimmick. Like, it was a nice little crossover they did at the time. So I do like kind of seeing this version of him.
Yeah, like I'm keen to get that same figure if I can get it for a sensible price.
Just a group shot here of my fave five, as Booker T would say.
Yeah, that Musa
Eclectic
headdress
bunch.
thing looks awesome.
Yeah, it really makes that figure, I think, that headdress on him.
And I like that the Scott Hall's properly tall. Look, it looks good.
Yeah, I think, and I know once again it's like recency bias or whatever. He's probably my favorite figure I've gotten in ages. Like, and he's definitely my favorite Razor figure, easily the best one
Yeah,
they've put
I,
out.
I regret not picking up the blue one at the shops the other month. I mean, it's the same figure, just in a different color outfit. Because I've been trying to get a Razor for ages, and he's one of the ones, even secondhand ones on eBay, they're quite pricey.
Hopefully they'll keep on doing releases because he's another one of those guys. He had so many different like colors and layouts of
Yeah,
ring attire. You could just keep putting figures out of him for a long, long time.
yeah. I hope they do some more. But he's on my I've got as far as my list of like core wrestlers I want. Like my '80s dudes, I've got most of the ones I want. I don't have a Jim Neidhart or an Owen Hart to really go with Brett. And for more modern dudes, I definitely want to get a Brock and a John Cena because I mean there's a million of those figures. And I definitely want to get them. Wouldn't mind a Batista. But as far as my core characters, like I've got my Ultimate Kane, Undertaker. I've got a bunch of WCW guys on this in front of me, like Ric Flair, and I've got bloody Eddie and Ray, Goldberg. I've got like probably 90% of anything I wanted. There's just a few key other ones I'm trying to get, like Vader. I'd love to have a King Kong Bundy, but there's no good figure ever of King Kong Bundy. There's one third party one that's like some other brand that's reasonable, but it just looks like a bald dude. It doesn't really look like anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? They might. It's probably a thing. His family don't have his likeness,
Yeah,
or something like that, or there's some weird hang up with the rights
yeah.
to make
We're never
figures
going to
of him.
see another Bundy figure. So, but yeah, my next pick here is the old Sheik, Iron Sheik.
It's great, fantastic.
It's
I
got the
even love
curly
that
boots.
they get the curly boots. I don't even know. There's probably a proper name for them. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But he's got the soft
Fantastic
goods
figure.
robe. The robe is soft goods. The headdress, that's just solid plastic. But it's got the nice gold trim down the side. And like they did a really good job with Mattel on these robes. Like that's a full length one. Like that's a real Lawrence of Arabia looking, proper Middle East robe. And like the only one fancier than that was seen was the Ric Flair one where he's in the pink, and that one is just amazing. He's got the hair, and they do such a good job on.
Yeah, it's a really nice. I even just like the whole pattern that goes from like the top to the bottom with it. Like they just did a really
Mm.
nice job of putting it
Yeah, his
together
pants
as
look
soft
great.
goods go.
I'm not really fond of some of the cuts in the chest and all that, but the face sculpt, man. I mean, check that one out.
Oh, unbelievable.
Oh, call me this week.
But even the like that kind of bronze goldy material that they've sewn into the robe, like it actually looks like a real robe when you see it up close.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm
The,
glad that
the
the headdress is actually solid though, because otherwise it would flop
yeah,
around and look weird. So it keeps a consistent shape.
the detail on the tights is
He
actually
didn't have
serious as well. Like
they've released them a bunch of times. Like this one, I got loose as well from a seller in China who sells all sorts of wrestling figures. But he doesn't have the club bells, unfortunately. Remember, he used to swing them around and do all
Yeah.
this. And
They're probably the type of thing you could get little wooden things and,
yeah,
substitute them in if you really wanted to do that. I'm sure there's a name for them. You could probably search those type of small accessories to put with them.
yeah. I don't
He
have any
does look really
accessories.
good though.
I have real club bells for actual personal mice. I have two 10 kilo ones I've used for years, but I don't have anyone small enough to go off the sheet.
I wonder, did they think that, like, as the years kind of progressed, when their sculpts improved, did they feel more comfortable not doing the soft goods? Because they're like, oh, well, we don't need to hide the sculpts as much anymore. Whereas it's like, no, you should
Yeah,
have both. You should have good sculpts and you should have the soft goods. You
yeah.
should
Like
give
if
it
I
to us
buy John
all.
Cena, he needs to come with a decent cloth shirt, which a few of them do. I hate the ones that are just printed on the chest. Looks stupid.
Yeah, yeah. The painted on t-shirts look ridiculous on some of the figures.
It was fine back in 99, 2000, but not in 2020. I'd honestly painted on fucking shirts.
Mean Gene there, trying to keep the peace.
Yeah.
That whole lineup, kind of front row you have there, are just all really nice figures on it. I think like the Warrior's really nice, the Savage is really
Yeah, I
nice.
was so happy with that Warrior. And it's the one where he actually fought the Macho Man at WrestleMania because you turn him around and it's got him and Macho on the back of that big, whatever the hell you call that thing.
You've got a Sid in there in the back as well. I'm pretty sure I got that Sid recently myself.
Yeah, that just came out the other month. He's got the nice Goldilocks here in the blue trunks because I didn't want the bloody referee Sid or whatever. I wanted a proper Sid.
Yeah, no, really, another really nice figure. But it's one of those things, and I know we often say it with these lists and stuff we do at the favorites. I could turn around and pick probably five different figures tomorrow, as I'm sure you could too.
Yeah, we'll give it 6 months. We'll do another one.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. Just depends on the mood that catches you at the time. When you're picking your favorites here,
Yeah,
and there's
like
been
when I
so
put
many good ones.
these guys on the shelf, it's the first time I had all these figures out at the same time on that shelf. I took down, it was another Turtles display. I took that down and I went, what am I going to put on here? Because I'm at the point where I can't fit all my wrestling figures on there. There's like those guys plus at least another 20 figures in the tub, possibly more. I've got at least 50 or more by now. I just went, oh, I'll go decade. I'll go 80s, put everyone 80s. When I rotate, then I can do 90s display next time because I've got plenty of 90s guys like Mankind, Rock, and Kurt Angle, who's kind of the in, he's more 2000, but I've got enough that I can just rotate from 80s display to a 90s and put them out there. But I love just having them all at the same time, like the WrestleMania one dudes over there and having Warrior with Macho and
Yeah, my
Sergeant
display is
Slaughter,
such a
Mr. Perfect up the
crazy.
back.
Mine's a total hodgepodge of eras. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
MILF Mania, baby.
that's just a bonus topic
Yeah.
for Mark at the idea.
One of these days, we're going to look at that Stephanie McMahon workout DVD.
Civic
One of
Man
these
exercise
days,
DVD.
we're going to get a. I wonder. I think that's Carmella in the background of that
Is it?
picture of her as well. It's probably like when she was still training as a rookie, so they just got her in as an extra to do exercises for Stephanie McMahon's DVD.
It's such a random thing. It's like I remember like years and years back, you'd see like old Baywatch, which had a few wrestlers guest stars here and there, but you'd see things like the later seasons of Baywatch. Carmen Electra became a ongoing character on that, but she also released her like home aerobics stuff, but it was like stripper pole dancing aerobics home exercises. It's like what the hell? The old direct DVD market, you see that came out. It's like that's just so trashy.
I imagine Stephanie's is all kind of strength based and
Yeah.
cardio stuff.
Well, she seems like even more than Shane to be like her dad as far as actually being like into fitness and that and looking after herself. So good on her.
I think
You
her
won't
and
catch
Triple
her
H were
jump
a
doing
couple of gym
stupid daredevil
heads.
stunts.
No, no, she doesn't need to do that. She doesn't have those type of insecurities.
Yeah,
She's
it's funny. Like
comfortable in
there's
herself.
when you see like real hardcore wrestling fans online that talk about stuff and this and that in the old days, and some people really don't like Stephanie. Like, oh, daughter of a businessman and there because of the family. It's not like she didn't study and go and do things. She's been around it long enough. She's learned plenty of shit. You can't just go, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. She's been around it for like more than 20 years.
Well, that's the thing, and you see, a lot of time has passed, and if this was back in, say, 2002 or 2003, I would probably be saying, "Oh yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing," because back then
Yeah,
she didn't. But a lot of
too
a
busy
lot of
getting
things have
abducted by
happened.
Triple H at the drive-through
Yeah, like there's, and
or
to
the
be honest,
Undertaker.
as an on-screen character, she was always good. She was a great
Yeah.
heel. You wanted to see her get her comeuppance. So it worked in that respect. And look, great looking woman, and still a great looking woman for her age, I have to say. No complaints on that front.
But yeah, so that won't actually be next week's topic. We've got
No.
a few different plates spinning here, but basically coming up in next couple of months, we've done a Stan Winston talk earlier in the year, so we're going to do a Ray Harryhausen one, hopefully with Epic Badger and or Gojitron. But if we can get them both on the same show and time zones, we will, or we can just do 2 talks with those guys each when they're available. Going to do a Galoob talk with Badger, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, because depending on what time he's available, we can do that one. We've got to follow up to last year's dinosaur talk. So we did 2 Jurassic Park ones, and we talked about toy lines. Going to do like a 90s dinosaur special, like toys, toons, media, magazines, movies, just the whole thing of it.
Lots of good stuff coming down the pipeline. This cinematic crimes cage match has
Yes,
got me interested.
they're all number 3
These not so
sequels.
loved. Yeah,
I'm thinking if Badger's available, we can do the Galoob next week. But if he's not, we can do the Robo 3, Superman 3, Ninja Turtles 3 versus each other and do whatever other week works for him. But yeah, I came up with the idea of that last year and I saved it. Not even made the images of that. Because I went, well, we've talked about Turtles, we've talked about Robocop, and I think I don't particularly want to do individual episodes on this at number 3 at the moment. Why not just do like a kind of versus, which is the kind of best of the worst sequels?
that's going to be a tough one. Tough decisions.
Yeah, it's tough. I do genuinely enjoy all 3 of those movies, even though they're all
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, I can still enjoy bad things myself, I have to say.
Yeah. And another
Yeah, it's
sneaky
all.
hint down the corner later in the year. I thought we're going to do October. We're going to do like a horror themed month. Last year we did John Carpenter films, and I went, well, I want to do Vincent Price movies this year, if that's okay with you. And but another
Sounds
idea is
good.
Monster Mania. Do like original Godzilla, original King Kong 31, first Frankenstein, and first Dracula. All like black and whites and amazing classic films.
Yeah, and another good excuse to rewatch some of these classics and
Yeah.
refresh the mind and get the thought juices flowing and thinking about
Yeah, I've
these
picked up
things
a
again.
few monster toys and Godzillas and Kongs in the last 12 months, and I picked up a Blu-ray set of Godzilla. It has about the first 10 films in order or whatever. And then I got my Universal Monsters, so now I actually own those things on DVD. The only thing I don't have is King Kong, but there's a restored version on DVD. I'm going to pick that up this week.
Yeah, a lot of my classic monster stuff unfortunately was on a hard drive, which I no longer have. So we
Crap.
might have to be doing some creative file sharing and streaming. But don't worry, I'll be able to
Oh
catch up
yeah,
with the
I've got
material one
most of
way or
those
another.
things on disc, so I'll share them with you privately to be able to well ahead of time in it.
Yes, for educational purposes only, which makes it legal.
Exactly.
It's all perfectly above board. We have a whole
Yeah, so
team of
that's
lawyers that sign off on this.
that's what's coming up in the next few weeks anyway. But the general thing is I want to do some more toy talks, and I'm going to lean on you and your direction, Mark, for some comic book talks and pick some stuff coming up in different weeks, and we'll try and fit in some guests when they can, and then pretty flexible in what order we do anything in the next few weeks. But I'm keen to do some more comic book talks.
Yeah, as am I. Yeah, no, there's so many talks, so many topics. The
Yeah,
world is our
we've done
oyster.
heaps of films.
You know?
We've done quite a few toys. So I might as well get around to some bloody comics.
Yeah, we do what we can, folks. We're only two men, so that's why we're going to have to draft in reinforcements now and again to help us cover some of these topics. Pulling in some backup.
I'll say, come on down, Badger, and now I want you to read this Dark Horse versus Aliens Predator book word by word.
Yes.
Just read it out loud so I can sleep.
And then write a 5,000 word report on it.
Yes, write a report on it. Why did that strange lady join up with the Predators when they didn't kill her?
Better not use AI because we can check that stuff. We got people who work for us to
What do you
check
say?
that.
Are you saying My Father Ted versus Predator images are fake? That was a legitimate movie.
And that CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre song was sang by a real band, and we paid them
Real band,
real
yes.
money. Yeah, so don't come at us with this AI accusation stuff.
Don't tell me Lemmy and Motorhead, hey, I'm not, they're real. You better not tell me that.
I happen to be very good friends with that particular band that we used today. Yeah.
But yeah, that's about the end of this week's show.
Good times, good times. Let us know, folks, what were your favorite figures of the ones we showed today, and what are your favorite wrestling figures in general? Or if you're not a wrestling fan, let us know. Would you be still tempted to take a punt on any of these figures just to use for other toys or to use them in conjunction with other toys? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, you could buy a Thunderlips to go with your Rocky figure.
You could do. You could do. But other than that, hope everybody's staying safe and keeping well, and hope you all enjoyed the show today. And we're looking forward to seeing you again next week.
Yeah, tune in next time. We'll be talking a bunch more crap about stuff we like.
Take care, folks. Too sweet for life. Yeah.